Hello, this is novaTopFlex. In this video, I will be showcasing an expected value program. The goal of this Python program, and you can also code along if you think you know one other solution or if you can get my solution to this. So this will have sys.argv because sys.argv is supposed to show exactly how I can get arguments passed. So really, this is supposed to be an expected value. Ultimately, 1,000 trials, it's supposed to average out and give us closer and closer to the expected value of how many coin flips you will need. And I'm not going to say heads or tails. This is binary. This is zeros and ones. You can think of it however you would like. Normally, in my mind, it's 1 is heads and 0 is tails. So you're basically asking yourself, how many tails in a row? So how many different coin tosses will you need in order to make sure so you will get one tail in a row within the first two, and then as you look and examine this, you'll see a pattern. You can expect to get at least one tail in a row within two within 6, 3 within 14, 4 within 30, 5 within 62, and so on and so forth. Standard deviations, yes, will be covered in another video later, but in this video, it is just showcasing the expected value. But the behavior gets wilder and wilder as this program demands more tails in a row. So like with 1 tail in a row, the values are fairly close to 2, but with 10 tails in a row, they may not be that close to 1,022. Some might even be over 1,024. But 1,022, the values will still hover around there. So really, this can be represented in many different ways. So it's 2, 6, 14, this pattern, basically represented by 2 raised to the sum x plus 1 minus 2. So really, 2 to the 2 minus 2, then 2 to the 3 minus 2, then 2 to the 4 minus 2, and so on. And then with 9 in a row, 2 to the 10 minus 2 means it's supposed to be around 1,022. It may not be the exact number. This can also be represented, yes, summation, sum from I equals 1 to x. Sum from I equals 1 to x of 2 to the I. So again, 2 plus 4 plus 8 plus 16 plus 32 and so on. That is still going to get to 2, 6, 14, and so on again. So what we're really looking at this point is just exactly that. So really, it could be thought of also, so if we could add 0 to the sequence, which wouldn't necessarily be a plausible addition, but it could be an addition. So this sequence would 2, 6, 14. Now, you can also represent it with 0, then 2, 6, and so on. That is another thing, and that is the beauty of algebraic functions and whatnot. But that complicates things. And you will not be able to get a fractional number or a decimal number or really any number that's not an integer. You will not be able to get fractional values or partial heads or partial tails. You'll only be able to get full heads or full tails in this, basically. So as you continue watching this, you will see that the numbers keep increasing because the number of tails needed in a row continues to increase. This was just a good sneak peek at future videos to come. This is actually the first video in a fairly large series, and possibly surprisingly large given how short novaTopFlex videos may be. But if you like this type of content and would like to learn more, please like, share, comment, subscribe, try the hack to algorithm, and thanks for watching. Signing off.